So this one we call 1-2 set. I'm going to hit at them. This is to work on their strong hands. Hit at them, they set to themselves, and then go left, right, out to the target. Right now, they're setting to themselves. They're just going on the perfect left-right footwork. If you don't feel comfortable hitting, you can always throw overhand. It's also important that I, as the tosser, change my angle, just like the passers are going to be from different positions on the court. The toughest angle as a setter, coming from behind her head, get around the ball, get her feet around the ball. It's not bad. And transfer her weight. Same thing, really focus on Elise's feet. She gets her hands, sets that first ball, and then left, right, every time. Heel, toe. Finishing all on her right foot. What helps is if you set that ball nice and high the first time. Then you have more than enough time to go left, right. Maddie on that one let her left foot come through, which we're trying to correct. Good. So now this next one, left foot. So you're going to set to yourself off the net, and you're going to come with your left foot. Okay? So this is where we're working on that footwork that we did in the beginning, that we call basketball keys, that we did with the basketball. Great set. Again, you can always toss. Good. I really like how Elise is holding her follow through. That way, wherever the ball goes, she knows what she needs to correct. And if you focus on Maddie's hips, her hips are facing the target before she sets. That's extremely important. Great set. Oops. Good adjustment. One more time each. With younger players, if you don't have that catch it there, you can always have someone on a box catching. And that catch it is just a tool. If they're hitting it, that's still a good set. So make sure that you're encouraging your players that it doesn't have to go in every time. As long as you're in that same vicinity, you're giving your hitters, again, a chance to be successful. Okay, Elise, you're going to spin. Good. Now she's going off her inside leg, which is her right leg. Again, before she sets, it's important that her hips are facing that target. And it will be the same when we switch that target to set back. Push through the wrist. There it is. Good. Again, that left leg now will be her balance leg. So just like the outside leg, she's going to use that left leg as her balance step. Emphasize that left leg. There you go. Now she's really having to use that left leg. The farther she goes, the faster she goes to the ball, the more she has to use that left leg as her stable leg. Now we're going to do the same thing. Left, right. And this is to our back set. This is in-system set to our opposite. Set the first ball higher. Give yourself time. There you go. Thank you. Good. Notice her hands are still falling forward. She pushes up and back evenly, and it's that ball's fault. And her hands then track to left front. When I notice that their hips aren't facing the target, I tell them to check left front. That also eliminates their head tilting back, letting the whole gym know that they're setting back. So it's important that their chin stays down and all the work is in their right leg and their hands. Again, if you don't have enough control or you don't feel comfortable swinging at the ball, you can always throw it. And you want to kind of throw it with some pace to really make their hands stay strong. Now this is kind of a spin set. Although notice her hips are facing the target before she sets. Okay. Facing the left front imaginary target, I guess I should say. AKA squaring up. The farther she becomes off the net, hard set, nice, the more she's going to be setting over her right shoulder. So she's setting these off right now. The adjustment is, just like she just did, was more of a side set over her right shoulder. Thumb is, you can always hold your follow through. We call it hold your freeze, hold your follow through. If the ball happens to come out with spin, a lot of times the ref won't call it if you do that. And that's hold your freeze. So we're going to talk about when they're setting back. One of the hardest things to get good at as a setter is when they're off the net, knowing where that angle is, knowing where they want to set it to when they're not facing that way. So it's important that she squares up, so she's facing left front. You always want to be facing left front. Now this angle where she wants the ball to go is right here. So it becomes more of a side set. From here, she follows through with her hands here. So we have our setters start here and just rep out, get used to that angle. So get used to, well, we would have that target over there or a catcher, whichever, and she'd just get used to setting over her right shoulder. Once they get more advanced, they should be able to see out of their peripheral vision that right side antenna. That antenna is their mark. They don't want to set it to the antenna, but just inside the antenna. A little more height. Right there. Good. Now, since we always want to square up, Of course, if she set over her head, it would go back row. So that's why she's got to change the angle and set over her right shoulder. The more she gets closer to the net, the less she has to set over her angle. It's kind of over her shoulder. It's more of a back set with a little bit of over your shoulder. This is a true back set, or side set if I'm facing the target that way. Okay.